Hello, welcome to aset channel. My name's John Rowan. In today's lesson we're going to look at katakana again. Last lesson we looked at katakana, but it's very important because there's so many misunderstandings when Japanese people use katakana English. We're going to look at some other examples where katakana is very different from real English. So this is katakana is in English too. Okay. Two words in Japanese: mansion and apato. Often Japanese people use them when they're speaking English, but their meanings are very different in English. In Japanese, mansion means a very new, beautiful place to live. And in English, a mansion is a beautiful place to live. But actually it's for one family and it's one big house. So if you say mansion, if you say I live in a mansion, my image is that you live in a great big house with lots of rooms that's very, very beautiful. Maybe also historical, a little bit old. Apato in Japanese has a feeling of being a little bit old and maybe rented. But we use the word apartment a lot. Actually, I don't use the word apartment because I'm British. Most British people don't use apartment. We use the word flat. So, in English, American people often say for a very new, beautiful, luxurious apartment, they will say condominium. Occasionally British people say it as well, but usually it's an American word. The usual word is apartment. And this could be a new apartment, a big apartment, an old apartment, a small apartment, a terrible apartment, a wonderful apartment. It could be any kind. The most natural word for British people is flat. So, I live in a flat. It's a very nice flat. So, if you're talking to American people, best words to use are condominium or apartment. Talking to a British person, the best word is flat. But any of them are okay. But if you say this word mansion, they won't understand. They'll imagine that you're very, very rich and have a very, very big, beautiful, historical house. Now, our next one, garage. I see this a lot. But if you say garage, my image, and most native English speakers' image, is a small building that you park your car in. So it has walls and a roof. It can be connected to a house, it can be separate from a house. It's a small building to protect your car. In Japan, garage is nearer to the English parking space. So somewhere outside, a special space to put your car. So, if you say parking space, I understand it's outside. If you say garage, I think, and most native English speakers think, it's a small building to keep your car. Next one, aircon. Actually, this one is understandable in English. If you say it, most native English speakers will understand you. Sometimes katakana is understandable, but not always. So it's best not to use it. But here, aircon is okay. The full word is air conditioner. But you can also just say aircon, which sounds very much like aircon. So, here the katakana is okay. But usually katakana isn't. So, it's still better to write it like this, air conditioner, or write it like this, aircon. This next one I think is very funny. Pet bottle. That's how I pronounce the Japanese one. Pet bottle. I didn't understand this when I first came to Japan. Here, pet, or petto. For me, I thought of like a pet cat. In England, I had 3 cats, 3 pet cats. There could be a pet dog. But why a pet bottle? I didn't understand. So, the natural word in English is plastic bottle. So, if you go to America, or you go to England or Australia, please use plastic bottle. Consento. This one is very difficult to understand. I had no idea what consento was when I first heard it. There are 2 ways you can say it in English. You can say electric socket or just socket. Both are okay. And then you will be completely understood. Consento sounds like another English word. And most people would think it's that word. That word is consent. But consent's meaning is not electric socket. It is shodaku in Japanese. So very, very different meaning. So if you use consento, then it will be very, very confusing for a native speaker who's talking to you. So we've had 2 lessons about katakana isn't English. This is because it's one of the big problems for Japanese people studying English. Many Japanese people think that katakana is English, that the words are English, but they're not. And in many cases they're very difficult to understand. So, please try not to use katakana when you're studying English, when you're writing notes for your English, and especially when you're speaking to native English speakers. Be careful not to use it. And if you use the correct words, you'll sound very natural and you will be understood. Okay, so that's our lesson today. So thank you very much.